I have 6 o'clock, first order of business is pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First order of business is to approve the minutes from our last session, October 7th. We'll have that motion.
I'll make that motion, second.
Vote.
Yes.
Yes. Public comment period. Anything from the sheriff's office?
We have the DEA prescription drug take back next weekend, so I believe you guys will probably be participating somewhere, I don't know, right here, but we'll be, yeah. I don't know, for Arlington and Hilliard and on the southeast side, so. Other than that, our Citizens Academy is going on right now, if there's anybody that you might know that's interested, direct them to the sheriff's office website, and if they want to participate in the sheriff's office Citizens Academy next year, they can apply online.
Cool.
So, other than that, that's it for me.
Anything from Brookside? Anything from Warrington Hills?
No.
Anything from Epcot and Ravello?
They have 29th is their, whatever Halloween event.
Grandparents,
Other than that,
grandparents thing.
Grandparents' Day, yeah.
Zoning.
Old business, the two resolutions that were passed last meeting for these two properties, the certified letters went out to each property owner on September. The day after that meeting, and they were sent both certified mail and regular mail. Certified mail, I haven't gotten a return on it yet. But both parties have been notified. Our dear Mrs. Mertz on Oakbourne has gotten some of the work done, had a sister come into town and help cut back a lot of the weeds and trees in the backyard. Has a big pile of brush that they're going to get rid of this week. So she's making some progress in making, making some progress. The Castle property, no feedback, no answer. So I'm contacting the same contractor that we used last time to do it again. So the 7 days have expired, 7 days from the receipt of the certified mail have expired, and so we can go forward with that. And Andy, did you ever get a hold of him? Were you able to ever get?
No, I called the thing, but I forgot to call back, so.
Anything else under zoning?
Is there resolutions that we need to declare nuisances for anything?
For what?
No, that was the last.
we already
That
one.
was the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Road department.
Under old business, Eli Moore is here to give an update on the salt barn.
Fire away.
Almost there. As of 3:49 today, we received an email saying that it's been approved. I've been in, the permits have been approved. I've been in contact with both the contractor and the architect. They have not seen it on their portal, but we're hoping that they'll have that here soon. My next steps is to work with the contractor on the job, the general contractor, as well as his subcontractors to ensure we get this project started as soon as possible. The other thing I'm working on with the iron is the potential delivery of the canopy system. Maybe have it here on site so that when we have the walls ready to go and they can support the weight of the canopy system, we can install them right away instead of waiting a whole week for them to be delivered to the site. So we're doing everything we can to expedite the project, understanding that obviously we have the weather, number one, number two, the requirement that you guys had on the loan, as well as obviously the need for the salt barn, for you guys and for the community, obviously for the winter season that is closely coming. So as of right now, this week, I hope to get an updated schedule for our Tuesday meeting. And hopefully, the goal would be that the contractor's here working prior to Tuesday. That's what I'm pushing for, but I haven't received that confirmation yet. But as of now, the one thing that was holding us up was getting the approval of that permit, and that's for now been done, so.
So with that being done, that was sort of a slow cog in this machine.
Mhm.
As you sit here today, when do you believe this will be done? If everything goes the way you want it to go?
If everything goes the way I want it to
The weather
go,
cooperates and all that good stuff.
right, so I would want it to be done within the next 30 days or so. But there is some stuff that's going to depend on how well that concrete will bond and how well that concrete will hold its PSIs. And the engineer will be the one making that determination as to when we could actually install that canopy system. And then I also have to talk to a contractor and a subcontractor. One of the concrete subcontractor has been pushing us and letting us know that he has other jobs. So we've been able to hold them and hold the equipment here on site and the material here on site. So our anticipation and our goal is to try to get them here on site and to start doing that work. Like I said, on Tuesday, I should have a better idea in regards to the schedule. And I could provide that to both I and I think Beth will still be gone, but I believe that trustee will be there as well on that meeting.
Okay.
So I should have a better idea. I don't want to speak for the subcontractor on his behalf, but I feel comfortable that we should be able to start this here pretty soon.
How long are you guys anticipating the concrete to cure before you can actually install? Like, how long does that need to go?
Well, they did widen the thickness of the walls. And depending on how the concrete tests, the engineer will determine that. There are sometimes they require up to 21 days for full strength.
Right.
The engineer mentioned we don't need full strength to be able to put the canopy on. But he is the one that's gonna be making that determination.
Okay.
So worst case scenario, for that concrete to cure is roughly 21 days. We don't anticipate that being the wait that we need to have to install this canopy.
Okay.
This walls are roughly 14 inches thick, if I recall, right from the drawings. So there may be some leeway there that the engineer will let us get away with.
Right. Okay.
Is that weather dependent too? Sure.
That does depend a lot on the weather. So the concrete will cure faster, obviously, if the climate stay more on the warmer side, than if we have a lot of cooler nights.
Anything else on?
That's all I have on my agenda.
Anything else on the road? Fire and EMS, you got a guest speaker. Assistant Chief Bell.
Just made it. I forgot about the construction.
It's for an interesting little entrance, doesn't it?
It is, it's an adventure, especially when you're looking at the clock. So anyway, thank you for allowing me to come here and address you guys today. Not much has changed from your perspective. We're still running lots year to date. At the end of last month, we had 105 events. Epcon had 24, so we're still hitting that 25%. We're pretty consistent into there. Overall, we've had a slight downturn in runs, and not just in Perry, but in all of Upper Arlington, Columbus. Everybody's got a slight dip. Don't know why. There's really no metric that makes me understand why that's happening, but it's just an anomaly. We'll see if that continues. I wouldn't expect it to. One thing, luckily with this downturn of events we've had lately, we have a lot going on at Upper Arlington. So just last week, we implemented a new records management system. So I'm asking for a little patience with getting these reports to you next month, because I know there's gonna be some headaches and stuff, so expect them to be a little delayed. Not to mention, we gotta merge the two systems, but then I have to figure out how to pull the reports out of the new system, so if you can be a little patient there, I'd appreciate it. The other thing that's happened, and unfortunately, you guys had your national night out at the same time, we went through a strategic planning process. Was very, very enlightening. We had a lot of input from the outside, everything from your residents to our residents to mutual aid partners and things like that. Came into a lot of focus on the prevention process, community risk reduction, education, our community paramedicine, and general fire protector prevention. So
not surprising, but we had a lot more support behind that than we had before. So part of our strategic plan is gonna be trying to pivot a little bit and putting a little more effort into those events. So you might see some changes over the next 5 years where we're doing a little more of that. Obviously, we're still gonna do the calls and do as we normally do. But just kind of trying to get and have a bit greater impact on that. When this is all said and done, you will absolutely receive a copy. It's still on draft and going through some of the setup that it needs to go through. But some of the initiatives, are obviously the basics of maintaining our infrastructure and things like that, so we can continue to grow and meet the demands. The community risk reduction I mentioned before. And then hopefully at some point expanding our ability to serve the north end, which would then have a good ripple effect for you guys and potentially with someday, hopefully having Station 73 open back up. So that's on the radar. Where it is in the actual timeline, we don't know yet. It's going to take us a couple years of generating data and analyzing that, but that's where we're at.
Well, we're super happy with you guys. I think everything's coming along and, hopefully the calls stay lower than expected.
Yeah, that's always a good thing to have. Once we have that official document, you'll definitely, I'll send it on so everybody gets a copy.
Thank you, crew, for being, you guys were at, Night Out.
Yeah, we did. It was a
thank you very
busy week for us. Yes, we
I
had
know.
crews there and yeah, so.
They said, so.
Absolutely.
Appreciate your
We'd love to participate in those things and it's the public likes it, so that's important to keep that forward face.
Well, they like you, so.
I feel like a third of the people that live in that community, including a close relative of mine, they're from Arlington. And half of them lived like south of Lane and they just wanted to downsize, but still sort of live in the vicinity and. So they love the fact that, UA is covering fire and EMS from there and I think it's been just a good setup.
It's good to hear. Yes. Thanks, Ben. I appreciate the forward patience when we get through this little next couple of weeks here. It's gonna be interesting.
And we're getting new record stuff too.
Yeah.
Right.
Upgrades in technology are always fun.
It's fun, isn't it? Yes. Thank you much for your time.
Thank you.
Anything else under fire and EMS? Hearing none, police. Talk to the chief. I don't think there was anything alarming he wanted me to discuss tonight. He's back in town on Wednesday and we're meeting with, sort of an initial meeting with, FOP. Matter administrator's not here. Is there anything under that before we get to, another guest speaker under it? You guys wanna be up next? Sure.
Good to see you all again.
Yeah, the traffic threw me off.
Well, we're just here to share an update as far as how the transition's going so far. Everything going as planned. We've got all the information that's needed to transition the health reimbursement arrangement from the previous administrator to the new administrator. All that was finalized on Friday. Give 5 to 7 days here for the build out of that new HRA platform and then cards will be issued. We're gonna have those shipped here directly to the administrative office and then distributed to each employee from here.
That'll be like a Visa or MasterCard like we had before.
Yeah, similar type of debit card. Should operate exactly the same as it did before. We basically just mirrored the previous plan design from an HRA perspective. And that's exactly what you'll have going forward. All the balances that you had before from January 1 of 24 to what would that be, 9/30 of 24 will all be effective and active on those new cards.
And then we'll get some kind of direction about that time about, we got a couple things that I saw in a folder. That we have to submit once the process is in place to do that.
Yeah, you got it. So we'll get like 1 page, super easy to understand kind of directions for employees that need to manually submit for reimbursement for any claims that happened in the month of October.
Right.
Or anything that happened previously throughout the year that they hadn't submitted for reimbursement for, so. All those directions, we'll have those and Beth will be able to distribute those to the workforce.
I think Beth mentioned that you were possibly, if I understood correctly, looking into the handling of the vision. And
Yep, So we're gonna go to market to, essentially obtain proposals for the dental and vision and life insurance. We anticipate we'll be able to find competitive proposals. However, we don't wanna put you guys in a disadvantageous position on those lines of coverage, because we know they're in that consortium right now. If we can't find anything that's better than where you're at today, there's nothing stopping you from keeping those lines of coverage where they're at with Berm and Flower. Obviously, we'd love to work with you on all lines of coverage, and that will be our goal, is to get competitive proposals that simplify you all's life, our life, and the communication of the benefit. So that's already in the works and out to market right now, along with the medical, so.
Any questions?
Well, if you all think of anything, you have our contact information, so please don't hesitate to reach out, give us a call anytime. And I know we'll be back for another update here.
So.
Yeah.
We're meeting weekly, so if there's something that the board wants,
Yeah.
what's going through Beth. Get the answer for you right away.
Yeah.
So,
Make sure you don't go out that way.
yeah. No,
It's a
go
little
ahead. That's one piece of advice.
We're like by the condos over here. We took a little walk, so.
Parked there and went through a little gap in the fence and. Here we are.
Hey man, he found his way. I'm glad he called me, or I didn't know.
Sorry about that.
Well, It's a test.
Yeah,
It's just-
it is.
I passed, he didn't.
No, I didn't.
Thank you.
Okay.
No problem. Thank you guys.
Appreciate it.
Fiscal officer,
Just a motion for approval of payroll and disbursements.
make that motion, second,
Second.
Will,
Yes.
yes, anything else? Motion to adjourn, what?
Get to share.
Yes.
Yeah.
Were you paying attention?
I was.
I'm like thinking it took me longer
I
to
think
drive
he's
here
stolen.
than it did
think I
for
was-
this
I
meeting.
I think he's stalling you.
Do I have a second on the motion to adjourn?
Second.
Vote,
Yes.
Yes.
15 minutes and 50 seconds.
Wow.